All right, good evening. I was supposed to share this recording earlier, but I had a busy day, fortunately. But nevertheless, we shall continue. All right. So I'll quickly, it will be very short. I just want to talk about syntax, the syntax editor. Okay, so that it can be clear. Yeah. So if you're able to see my screen, this is the data that we've been working with the whole time. This is the data that we defined, the data that we coded, and it's the one that we've been working with. So I want to talk about the syntax editor. Remember when we started, I mentioned that there are different ways of how you can define your variables and how you can enter your data. Okay, and for part of the ways that I said, one of them was the syntax editor. I said that you can code your work and then it will appear in your data view. Okay. So what is a syntax editor? A syntax editor is basically, SPS syntax. This is basically a programming language that is unique for SPSS. Okay. So it allows you to perform some analysis and also data manipulation. And you can also use it to define your variables when you start entering your data. Okay. Because some tasks you can find some tasks difficult to use the drop-down menus like the way we've been doing it. As we've been working with drop-down menus where you click on tab on data, and then these drop-down menus which come, then you click on the next one and you move on like that. Or maybe on view, you click and then you go to the drop-down menus. Yeah. Wow, you can do that, but for some tasks, it actually becomes, it's not so easy to use the drop-down menu. So using the SPS syntax, it can be good for such kind of tasks. Okay. And also I should mention that using the syntax, it's a good practice because it helps you save your work. Okay. Helps you save your work. Wow, you can use the drop-down menus and just do some tasks. But for you to be able to save the steps that you have gone through in order for you to come up with whatever work that you have analyzed, the syntax is very good because it can help you to replicate. If you have a syntax saved somewhere, you will go back to it and just replicate if you want to do something else. That is what I mean. Okay. Yeah. So basically those are some of the advantages of using the syntax, the SPSS syntax. Okay. Wow, I've mentioned that SPSS syntax, it's a unique programming language which we cannot learn in this course. Okay, with time you can explore on your own and learn how to use this programming language in order for you to write code in SPSS. Okay. Yeah. But there are other ways of how you can generate the syntax without having to start from scratch, and that is what I'm going to show you here. We're going to check other ways of how you can generate the syntax without having to start from scratch. Like even if you do not know the programming language, you can still come up with the syntax. Okay. All right. So before we do that, let me just show you how you can access the syntax editor. Okay. Remember, when we're looking at the file, we talked about if you want to come up with a new data, new syntax, and also a new output window, you can use the tool, which is what? New here. Okay, and that is what we are going to use. So you go to file. When you go to file and then you come to new, okay, under new we have data, we have syntax, as you can see, and we also have output, and we also have script. You can choose Python, Python 2, Python 3, and also basics. These are just script. Okay, but for us, we're just going to focus on syntax. So I'm going to click on syntax. Okay, All right, we just go back to new. Then I click on syntax there. Okay, I click twice again. All right, so this is our syntax editor. This is how it looks. So if you want to start from scratch writing code so that you can analyze some parts of your data, you can start from here. You're going to write your first line and then you're going to move to next. You'll notice that they are properly arranged. Okay, like that. Just the way that the codes are arranged when you're using maybe VS Code or whatever code editor that you are using. Exactly, that's how the syntax editor works, okay? So it has these programming capabilities that are embedded with it, okay? And there are a lot more options there, okay? Depending on what you want to do. And when you're done writing your codes here, you can run them, okay? You can run your codes. So basically this is our syntax editor, okay? All right, so like I said we are going to look at other ways of how we can generate the what? The code. So we want to generate a code for, we're going to analyze something and then we're going to see that the code will be generated and then we can try to run it here on the syntax editor and you will see how it all plays out. All right, so we are going to analyze. Let's try to analyze some of the analysis that we've done before. Like you come under analyze, okay? Remember, we are trying to generate a syntax for a certain analysis, okay? I said you can manually type the code or you can generate it using the what? The drop down menus. So we are going to use the drop down menus to automatically generate the code. That is what I'm doing now. So we go to analysis, descriptive. We want to analyze something. So let's choose frequency. Frequencies, we're going to click on frequencies. Let's try to analyze let's analyze marital status and age. What is age? How old are you? Okay, here. All right. So we have marital status and age. Okay, let's add some charts. Let's add some charts. Let's add a bar chart. Okay, and we want to get the frequency of those. So we are going to click continue, display frequency tables, yes. So we're going to click OK. All right, so this is our analysis. Okay, this is our analysis, but it's still running. The tables and the charts are not coming. All right, but then what we're interested in is actually already here. This part is what we are interested in. Okay, this is the parts that we're interested in. This is our syntax. This is the syntax that I'm talking about, that is what automatically what generated. It has some special words that are only used when you're working with what syntax. For instance, get here, it means something, right? Okay. And then it's also telling us that the it's also telling us that the data set name is the data set 1. Okay, all this information, and then it's telling us that we are doing we are doing what? We are finding frequencies for the what? For the variables. and the variable names are here. We have marital status and age. And then we are also getting what? The bar chart and what? The frequency. And also there's order here, which is what? Analysis. So this is basically what? The syntax. Let's try to get this syntax. I'm just gonna copy it. I'm going to copy it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the syntax that we had opened here. I'm just going to go to this syntax. Let's try to, let me paste it here. Okay. Okay. So this is our syntax. You notice that the colors change. Why do the colors change? Because colors represent, they will show you that maybe this is a comment, this means what, okay? When you're working with syntax, colors mean something, okay? So these ones which are in blue, okay, they are what? They're the same. And then these ones which are in orange, they're also the same. And these ones which are in red, they're also the same. And these ones in green, they are talking about the same thing. And also black. So basically, this is how the syntax looks. When you start typing, when you learn this programming language and you start typing, you will be able to make sense out of all these things, okay? Okay, so let's try to run this code. But before we run it, let's assume we want to change something about this code. Remember I said we can replicate the code and change it, and we'll still get the results that we want. For instance, if we wanted to remove marital status there, let's try to remove marital status and put, what are we going to put instead? Let's try to put gender. Let's put gender. And let's put gender. All right. Gender instead of what? Marital status. And also, let's try to change here. Let's assume we don't want the bar chart. Maybe we want a pie chart. So let's delete bar chart here. And you notice that they automatically bring us a list of where we can choose from. Okay, so we want a pie chart, and the pie chart is here. So we click on pie chart. Okay. So we've changed from marital status to gender, and we've also changed from bar chart to pie chart. Okay. Let's try to run this analysis and see what happens. This code that we have here. Okay. All right. Taking time to process. All right. These are our results. Let me just start from where they started from. We said we had, this is where it starts from. Okay. This is where it starts from. This is our analysis for the code that we just did run. Okay. So this is where it starts from. This is the syntax that has been generated, and then the frequency for gender, and how old are you? We have statistics here. The frequency tables, they're down here. For gender, we can see for gender, it's the frequency table is there on top, and the one for how old are you is there. And the pie chart, we remember we changed from bar chart to pie chart. So this is our pie chart for gender, and this is our pie chart for age. Our pie chart for age doesn't look so well. I guess age cannot be visualized using a pie chart. It's too complex. Okay, so a bar chart was okay for age, but basically I just wanted to show you how you can change your syntax in order to change your analysis. Okay, so basically this is how you work with the syntax. Okay, So I said you can type the syntax on your own, or you can do what? You can generate the syntax while you're using these other what? Graphical user interfaces, okay? Yeah. So almost all SPSS procedures which you access using the drop-down menus, you can generate a syntax. Like we saw, we managed to generate a syntax from that analysis that we did run, okay? So you can just paste, when you paste it, and then you do what? You run it. Like we saw, we just pasted it and we did run it and we saw the results here, okay? All right. So that's about the syntax. I hope you take interest to learn about the programming language for what? For the syntax. Have a wonderful night. I hope this helps.